The Great Wall of China is more than just a wall. It's actually a powerful symbol of China's long and complex history. It twists and turns across mountains, deserts, and grasslands like a giant stone dragon. For centuries, people have told stories about this amazing structure. It represents the strength and determination of the Chinese people. Many tourists come from all over the world just to see it, to walk on its ancient stones, and to feel its history. They imagine the soldiers who once stood guard here looking out for enemies. The wall captures our imagination like few other places on Earth, a testament to human ambition and endurance that has stood for centuries. This incredible landmark is not just one single wall but a series of many walls. These were built by different emperors over a very long time. The story of the Great Wall starts more than 2,000 years ago. It was a time of great conflict and fear. Small kingdoms built early walls to protect their lands from each other, and from nomadic tribes from the north. These first walls were often made of packed earth and wood, not the grand stone structure we see in pictures today. They were practical defenses built out of necessity, a simple solution to a constant threat that loomed over the developing Chinese states. The idea of a single massive wall came later. It was Emperor Qin Shi Huang who first had the vision to connect many of the existing walls around 221 BC. He wanted to create a unified defense system for his newly formed empire. His goal was to protect China from the Xiongnu tribes, skilled horsemen from the northern steppes. This project was enormous and required hundreds of thousands of workers. Many of them were soldiers, peasants, and even prisoners. Their hard work laid the foundation for what would become the legendary Great Wall, a project that would continue for many dynasties to come. Understanding the wall means understanding its purpose. It was not just a simple barrier to stop armies. It was a complex military system. The wall included watchtowers, fortresses, and barracks for soldiers. These towers were used to send signals quickly across long distances. Soldiers would use smoke during the day and fire at night to warn of an approaching attack. This allowed the empire to move its troops to where they were needed most. The wall was an early warning system and a highway for moving soldiers and supplies across the difficult terrain of northern China, a strategic masterpiece of its time. The history of the Great Wall is not a single straight line. It is a long and winding path. The construction was not a continuous project but happened in several major phases. After the first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, started connecting the walls, later dynasties added to them. The Han dynasty, for example, extended the wall further west into the desert. They did this to protect the valuable Silk Road trade routes. These sections were often built using different materials like layers of reeds and gravel, because stone and brick were not available in the desert landscape. This shows how builders adapted to their environment. The most famous and well-preserved sections of the wall we see today were actually built much later. The Ming dynasty, which ruled from 1368 to 1644, was responsible for the magnificent stone and brick structures near Beijing. The Ming rulers faced a new and powerful threat from the north, the Mongols. They invested heavily in strengthening and rebuilding the wall to make it stronger than ever before. They used advanced construction techniques including media group, stacks of ancient bricks, brickwork details on the Great Wall added stock added distribute_equally, bricks, stone blocks held together with a mortar made of lime and sticky rice. This made the Ming Wall a formidable defensive line against invasions. It is important to remember that the Great Wall was never a single, unbroken line stretching from one end of China to the other. It was a network of media group, fortress towers along the wall, aerial view of wall network and watchtowers at its stock at it distribute_equally, walls, fortresses, natural barriers like mountains and rivers. In some areas there were multiple parallel walls. In other places there were large gaps where the terrain itself provided enough protection. The total length of all these different sections built over the centuries is estimated to be over 21,000 kilometers. This makes it the largest man-made project in history, a collection of efforts spanning dynasties and generations. The construction of the wall was an immense human effort. The work was incredibly difficult and dangerous. Workers had to carry heavy materials up steep mountains and across harsh landscapes. Millions of people were involved in its construction over the centuries. Sadly, many people died from media group, abandoned tools along the wall, tribute monuments to fallen workers at it, stock at it distribute_equally, accidents, exhaustion, illness during the process. Because of this immense human cost, the wall is sometimes called the longest cemetery on Earth. While this is a sad part of its history, it also highlights the incredible scale of the project and the sacrifices made to build this wonder of the world. One of the most famous myths about the Great Wall is that it is the only man-made object visible from the moon. This story has been repeated for many years, but it is simply not true. Astronauts who have been to the moon, including Neil Armstrong, have confirmed that you cannot see the wall from that far away. It is long, but it is also very thin, like a piece of thread. From low Earth orbit, which is much closer than the moon, some astronauts have said they can see it, but only under perfect weather conditions and if you know exactly where to look. It is no more visible than an airport runway or a highway. Another common misconception is that the Great Wall was a completely effective barrier that always kept invaders out. While it was a very impressive military defense, it was not invincible. Throughout history, armies found ways to get past it. Sometimes they would go around the ends of the wall. Other times they would bribe guards to open the gates. The famous Mongol leader Genghis Khan, for instance, broke through the wall in the 13th century. The fall of the Ming dynasty in 1644 happened when a general opened a gate and let the Manchu army through. The wall was a deterrent, but strategy and human actions often decided its success. People also tend to think of the wall as the stone structure we see in popular photographs. However, as we have learned, much of the wall was not made of stone. The materials used depended on the location and the time period. Early walls were made of rammed earth, which is soil packed down tightly. In the desert, builders used layers of sand, pebbles, and tamarisk branches. The famous stone and brick sections are mostly from the Ming dynasty and are concentrated in specific areas. The reality is that the Great Wall is a diverse collection of different building styles, each suited to its local environment and historical context. Finally, there is the myth that the bodies of workers who died during construction were buried inside the wall itself. This is a gruesome and popular tale, but there is no archaeological evidence to support it. While it is true that many workers died, it would have been impractical to put their bodies inside the structure. Doing so would have weakened the wall. Instead, workers who died were likely buried in graves near the construction sites. This story probably started as a way to show the cruelty of the emperors who commanded its construction, especially Qin Shi Huang, and to emphasize the great human suffering involved. Today, the Great Wall of China is a powerful symbol of national pride. It represents the unity and resilience of the Chinese nation. It is a reminder of China's long and rich history, and its ability to undertake projects of an incredible scale. For Chinese people, the wall is not just a tourist attraction, it is a part of their identity. A famous saying by Mao Zedong, "He who has not reached the Great Wall is not a true man," shows how important it is in the country's modern culture. It inspires a sense of greatness and perseverance, connecting the present generation to the achievements of their ancestors. The wall's significance goes beyond China's borders. In 1987, it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This recognizes its importance to all of humanity. It is a monument that tells a universal story of human civilization, of conflict and peace, and of the relationship between people and the land they live on. The Great Wall attracts millions of visitors from around the globe each year. These visitors come to marvel at its scale and beauty, and to learn about the history that it represents. It serves as a bridge between cultures, a place where people from all over can appreciate a shared human heritage. The Great Wall also teaches us important lessons about history. It shows us that history is often more complex than the simple stories we hear. The wall was not one project but many. It was not a perfect defense, and its story is filled with both triumph and tragedy. By separating the myths from the facts, we gain a deeper and more accurate understanding of the past. We learn that great achievements often come with great costs and that even the strongest walls can be overcome. It encourages us to look critically at history and to appreciate its many different layers. In conclusion, the Great Wall of China is a monument of incredible complexity. It is a physical structure built over centuries and a powerful symbol woven into the fabric of Chinese culture. While myths like seeing it from the moon are fascinating, the true story is even more compelling. The reality of its construction by different dynasties, its strategic military purpose, and its immense human cost create a richer and more meaningful narrative. The Great Wall stands today not just as a defense against past invaders, but as an enduring testament to human will, a landmark of world history, and a source of immense cultural pride.